Get yourself something nice.
Yeah. How else are you going to oscillate?
What the hell? Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and welcome to What the F.A.Q? Season 4, episode 14.
Yeah.
And as always, I am here with
Dylan. And my coffee.
Dylan and his coffee, and Mr. Zigglesworth
Yes.
is over here hanging out.
Guarding the building. Yeah.
Guarding the floor just to make sure nothing happens. If you're new here, weekly question and answer show. You ask us a question, we give you an answer, and we may ramble and go off track, which is pretty normal.
We may start by reading your question and then not talking about it and talking about something else entirely different.
Yes, for quite a while, and then coming back.
Yes.
So we do our best we can, but musicians, ADD, we're screwed.
Varying levels of ADD.
Yeah, it all depends on how many coffees we had or not.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That
is actually a huge determinant.
I could use a coffee. We're kind of in the afternoon today.
Yeah, today worked out a little weird. We kind of reversed things a bit.
Yeah, usually we try to get here in the morning. See, and here we go. And here we go.
Yeah.
Off the track already. So anyway, we're going to start out this week with our first question from Mr. Yergs.
Yes. He asks, it seems like reverb effects have taken a huge step forward in the last several years. Which pedal category still has the most room for improvement? So which kind of style of effect, like vibratos or rotaries or phasers?
I think it's definitely overdrives.
Yeah, it's definitely
100%
overdrives.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough overdrives.
Particularly the green ones, yeah.
Yeah. We need more of those.
That is a good question, because I kind of see what he means. Like the Big Sky kind of set the standard for like all the huge reverbs that offer, tons of presets and all that. And I would say Walrus made a pretty big dent in that with the R1. That would be like the most recent thing that covers a wide range, and it's less, it's like a third of the size. But yeah, it does seem like reverb has been like the focus of people's developments and changes.
I think it's a lot of because there's just so much, a lot of people doing the whole spacey, ambient type music thing, and I think that's where a lot of reverb and delay are really...
because even the octave reverbs, those have been, very fashionable lately. Fashionable is not the right word. Whatever. No, you know what I mean, but exactly.
Fashionable.
Just, dangling octave reverbs from each ear.
Dangling octave reverbs.
Dangling octave reverbs.
Yeah.
There's a band name. Dangling octave reverbs.
Octave. I can't even say it right.
But yeah, in terms of other effects that probably have room for expansion. Actually, Vibe's an interesting question, because like that's one where everybody's still trying to nail the original one.
Right, but you're kind of going into the chorus side of things, I believe, and I think chorus has been well explored.
Yeah,
I think
there was enough of that in the 80s.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's better choruses now.
Yes,
but even we've seen some people dive deeper into flangers.
Yeah, like
into
the
flanger. I mean, like Walrus has gone recently in the last
the polychrome and the pyramid from Earthquaker. Well, and honestly, flange is interesting, because even Strymon with like the Deco, that one gets into the tape delay / saturation / double tracker / flanger. Right. But it all kind of revolves around that, taking one small aspect of something and kind of stretching it
out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, because
rotary is an interesting too, because I feel like a lot of people want it, but there's only really one or two that really do it well.
Right, and that's a hard one to nail, because honestly,
it's a physical room. Like
if you've ever been in the room or been in
the
a
presence
show
of a Leslie,
that you were close enough to a Leslie that it made an impact, like
that you could feel the air come off of it.
Well, that you could actually really
get a sense of it.
Because I mean, it's great if you go see somebody that plays with a Hammond with a Leslie, but it's in at the.
If it's all mic'd up, it's not even.
If it's at the the Ryman Theater, let's say, in Nashville, you ain't gonna really get the feel for the Leslie.
No,
but if you go see somebody, church guys that play, you're gonna be in a room that you're gonna actually be able to experience.
Well, yeah, there was a really cool keyboard trio that played at the High Dive once, and the keyboard guy, he went ahead and brought his Leslie with him. And it was actually pretty cool. I mean, hearing one in that small of a room was really cool because you could really hear the warble of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel and really get what it does. Whereas unless you really experience it, you don't get it. Same kind of thing with like the Univibe.
Yes.
If you hear a real Univibe, then all of a sudden you are a bit spoiled
for anything that's trying to do it.
For Univibes that are of lesser ability.
Yeah. Although I do think Vibe is one, or Univibes is probably one. Maybe not that things aren't really changing a lot, but I do feel like people are getting closer and closer and closer to the real thing. So at least that is improving. But again, that's one that I feel like is more nostalgia driven than where like the reverbs, people do want to see where like the new thing is. Whereas Vibes, everybody's kind of shooting for some old stuff.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, kind of like what you said, the fashionable thing, I think reverb is kind of fashionable right now.
Yeah, no, that's,
So it depends on where we are musically in the world.
Yeah.
Like what's happening.
Well, even, the culture within music, but even the culture within the people that make music, all those subcultures, a lot of the reverb stuff is what's surfacing, and, or like you said, the ambient side of it is like how many different ways can you take the ambient reverb vein of things, and that is... But yeah, I can't say that there's like another effect that's really opening up in that regard. If anything, I think the utility side lately, which I know is maybe not an effect, but the ability to use your current effects in a different way, I think the utility side is probably what's expanding the most, but maybe not as most noticed,
or being able to use them differently, like kind of like the Cusack pedal cracker.
Yeah, like
so
blending things,
being able to run an overdrive or some other pedals through your vocals,
right? Or running parallel effects, or a lot of that stuff's opening up, or even things that let you completely reroute your signal chain so that you can have a few different arrangements.
Like the tri-parallel mixer is a really good example of that.
So yeah, I mean, I think that side of it, but that would probably maybe not be as appreciated because most people don't appreciate utility items until they actually need it.
Right. I don't really give a shit about this tire iron. I'm stuck on the I-70. Boy, I wish I had a tire iron.
Exactly.
The world's most beautiful tire iron. All right, moving on. So we got Ben Coombs, our preferred Canadian YouTuber.
Yes, and actually you were just on his show last night.
I was just on Ben's show last night, so if you want...
Today's Monday, by the way, so it was Sunday when the show was.
This will come out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But the show was on Sunday. He had a graphic there, so if you want to go watch that and listen to me,
I think it was a good show. I mean, the chat was good too. It was a good show.
Yeah. So if you want to check that out, Ben Coombs' channel, Canucks with Guitars, go check it out.
Yes.
He asks, my question for next week, which is this week, is why don't more pedal companies make tuner pedals?
Oh, God, bastard. No, I'm just kidding.
That
was part of... No, I am joking about that. I get where he's coming from, because his argument was kind of that if a company is going to be a full-fledged start to finish, like you could get your entire pedal board from, that you need everything, and that the tuner would be the spot. But I swear, like if every company made their own tuner and we had to explain the differences between 60 different tuners, I would lose my mind. Because, it's already hard enough to tell somebody,
what's the difference between the poly tuner and the pitch black?
Right, and why is this one, just
why
the color.
Why is this one the Wazacraft? Why is this one that? Wait a minute,
does this one go to 432? Does this one go to, It's in that part would drive me crazy. And I would argue, too, hypothetical here, if all 60 tuners were all off by 1 cent, and everybody had a million different tuners, everybody'd be out of...
We'd have $1,062,000.
Exactly, there you go, But no, I was thinking about that.
Was it Office Space? Wasn't that Office Space's whole deal? Everything's off by half a cent?
Oh, yeah.
So the whole Office Space kind of...
Yeah, exactly, pretty much, Because it's like if all of them were just off, and you have 4 people in a band, that's 4 cumulative cents that you could be off. That's not a lot, but it's still, it'll add up. Trust me.
It's possible. Well, there's a lot of tuners out there that are just trash.
But why don't more pedal companies make tuner pedals? I think because
it's volume, and can they sell them? Is it worth them to sell them? Is it worth it to make them? And how many will they sell? I mean, I get where you're coming from too.
Yeah,
I think some companies, maybe a tuner wouldn't be bad, but do we need it? But there again, those same companies I'm mentioning are like, hey, look at our new tube screamer. Hey.
Well,
So
it is one of those things though that I think there's certain companies that have done it so well that other companies don't feel like what are they going to do different? What are they going to add?
Do they really need to have one?
Right, because I feel like certain companies have cinched that down, and it's gotten to where most people play. It's basically 3 companies at this point. I mean, it's really TC, Korg, and Boss when it comes to the tuners that I see the most on most people's boards.
The Pitch Black,
the
Polytune,
right, and then the TU series. But it's like I think a lot of companies and a lot of people that make pedals are like, can't really improve too much on those because they're already very solid. And I do see what Ben is saying, but also that I think that would have been a more successful format back in the day, pre-internet days, where you might be like, this is my favorite company, I'm just going with them because I know that I like them and I know that they're reliable. Like MXR, if MXR had made a tuner back in the day, I'm sure it would have been successful.
Yeah.
Or once that was, because I don't even know if anybody happens to know, when was the first tuner pedal? Because now that I think about it, that was probably borderline miraculous back then.
Well, it had to be the early '80s, right?
I would hope so, but I was just thinking about there was at least 2 generations of players that didn't have tuner pedals. So
that's a good question.
Yeah, if anybody,
they were all like ting.
yeah.
That was pretty much
pretty much. Yeah. Just develop your ears. But yeah, like I said, I see where Ben's coming from with the question, but I think it would just make things a lot harder and a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and I think it's a matter of, maybe smaller companies don't want to put that R&D into a pedal. Not that there's got to be a lot
but
of
you're saying,
or put resources into it when they have other things that they could put their resources in.
Well, right, with a tuner though, and this is I guess where I'm going is here, let's even take a tube screamer. None of us want more tube screamers, but they keep making them, right? Yeah. There's a thing with that though, you can make that, you can tweak it, and you can be like, okay, hey, I took this and I added this, and this is exactly what I've changed, and I think it's better. With a tuner, what are you going to point to other than maybe survivability? What are you going to point to that makes this one so much better than this one, or this one, or this one, or these other 60 million tuners that are now in the market? I feel like it'd be way harder to get your shit to surface to the top in a sea of other whereas with a tube screamer, there's a sea of tube screamers, but
you can have a tweak and do it,
right, and you can point to something specific and be like, I changed this.
I think. See, boy.
I say,
boy. You gotta get tuner together. I think where you're gonna maybe see those improvements or something, would be something like what D'Addario's done with their tuner pedal, and they've made it a little bit more slimmer, and maybe the display is larger,
right?
Or something to that. It would probably be more of a physical.
Dimensional change or something.
The tuner's a tuner. But so it would either be physically or it's just you're competing on price.
Well, and that's the other thing. But if that happens,
$35 tuner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If that happens, how quickly does that lower the? Because then everybody's gonna. There's a race to the bottom at that point.
Yeah, but I would bet that a $20 or $30 tuner is.
This is hilarious.
It's a $20 or $30 tuner.
He probably didn't even intend for this to be that thorough of a discussion, but this is a good question because on the surface you could say something like that, and it does make sense. But I think it also makes it very hard for the industry, is what I think. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Those are our 50 cents.
Yeah, exactly. That's our half a cent. That's our half a space. All right, so next, Quentin James, the illustrious Quentin effing James.
With Ike in his huge hands, what brands or models are your favorite? So Ike specific question, because this one I think was more in the chat last night, but kind of got missed a little bit.
So I like, the baseball bat, old Fender necks, the U shapes, the
50s and 70s
Les Paul, kind of stuff, all that stuff. I have my Texas Toast Duchess. Mm-hmm. Is the largest fucking baseball bat.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a neck that was bigger than that. So
people have tried it and they're like, "Holy crap! How do you play this thing?" I'm like, "Fairly easy."
Yeah.
I mean, I play that guitar often, and I have Yes, it's a giant neck, but it doesn't. I don't cramp.
No, it wasn't
feels very
unplayable or
comfortable.
anything. It's big.
Very comfortable for me. I have no issues with it. So I do like a fatter neck or a wider neck.
Yes.
A little bit. I just can't play the real thin, super Ibanez-y type stuff. So I usually gravitate towards a neck that is kind of the, baseball bat, U shape.
And wider too. I think because like even with the G&Ls, I think you like them because they're a little
I like the
wider
G&L.
and that deeper.
Yeah, the G&Ls are just a touch wider and they're very comfortable. For me, they're comfortable. For other people, I know that they are not. But other people also may have more dainty,
or petite hands.
hands.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time, we have seen guys that have smaller hands that prefer a fatter neck. So But that's that. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Quentin did a drive-by. Did you see the drive-by?
Yeah.
In the live stream, all of a sudden, boom, there's Quentin. I'm like, what?
Well, it was funny because
how did you do that?
Well, that was how he ended up doing at least you didn't get the ass this time because that was what happened. With mine was like he dropped in to do the little video and then it was a little more cheek than everybody was expecting.
We got a little bit more Quentin than we thought.
Yeah. All right. Gordophonic Records asks, how much fuzz is too much fuzz?
There is none.
There is none, yeah. Gordo's been kind of coming at us with the Zen pedal questions.
Yeah.
Although I do sort of have an answer.
Okay.
As much as I love the Fuzz Factory, the squealy bits on it annoy the shit out of me. So that one, like, I love the fact that it's modded and it's cool, but like a little too much maybe. Like that one, I feel like it's fun pedal, but unless you gate it or whatever you need to get really rein that thing in, I do feel like that one's like if you know what you're doing with fuzz, it's fine. But I feel like the customers that I hear that come up to the counter and be like, "It's broken," that's
no, that's it.
That's where I'm like, this one's a little maybe start with a level 1 fuzz. This is like a level 3 fuzz.
Yeah.
Maybe start with a level 1
you
fuzz.
can't go right to like the data corruptor.
Yeah, you need like a 2 knobber or a 3 knobber and then graduate.
Start with the Acapulco Gold.
1 knob. Yeah.
And then we'll work you into the rest.
But yeah, I don't think there's too much fuzz.
Nah, you know what? I wasn't much of a fuzz fan, and then over the years, I've really grown to love all different kinds of fuzzes. This nice smoothie one.
I like the nuanced
super
differences.
Sputtery.
Yeah.
The ones that are fucking choking, like I.
The ones that you would almost think are
like,
unusable, but then you're like, oh, this is weird and cool. Yeah,
like, this thing's busted.
But
then you find like some really cool nuance to it or something like that.
Well, I do feel like the differences are what make fuzz fun. Like that's where like it might be minor differences, but it's kind of like you said, like trying a different dish cooked by like 100 different people.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's gonna do their own little slight tweak to it, and it's fun. That's where fuzz is fun.
Yeah.
All right. Last question is from Yonks, Mr. MJ, and he's asking because this week the special cranker came out from Earthquaker Devices. Speaking of which, we're already amazingly down to our last one. So if you're watching this after this, we might be out by then, but we should have more coming in. But he asks, what does the special cranker do? As you confidently folds paper. What does this? Oh, it's just a motor. I was like, what is that? Yeah. What does it do? It's basically a transistor-based overdrive. So if you've ever played anything like the Naga Viper or like treble boosters, it's a little more in that family. I believe they actually did put germanium or silicone clipping diodes in there. So don't confuse the clipping with like the transistor part of it. Those are two separate parts of the pedal. But they basically took the old speaker cranker, which I believe was based on like the woof and breakup you get out of like a cranked up greenback or like an old school British speaker that's about to blow up.
Yeah.
So they took that and they basically tweaked it a little bit. And honestly, like for the price that it's at and the way it sounds, like that thing I think is gonna kill.
It's $100.
Yeah, it's $100. Yeah.
It does sound good. We were messing with it the other day, and I was like,
well, and to be honest,
that's gonna do well.
Yeah, because it's like the Plumes is already pretty much our best selling overdrive right now
from
Earthquaker, and I gotta say that this to me I think is kind of the anti-Plumes, which is I think it's interesting that they kind of came up with the antithesis of what the Plumes is, because this one has way more texture, way more grit, way more sag. It's kind of everything that's kind of the opposite of the Plume. So if you want more texture, like that's the speaker or special cranker is definitely going to be a a hot one for that. So
Yeah, it's a cool pedal.
yeah.
I ordered a pedal this morning from a company that I've never heard of.
Oh, really?
I just happened to see a video and I was like, I think I have to have that.
Well, that's interesting. Well, yeah, what was it? Yeah,
I'm gonna
for
wait.
a quick one. Okay, all right.
Well, it was one of the, you know how I do.
Well, yeah, but
Sometimes,
that's
something
really
pops up
surprising.
and I'm like,
yeah.
I think I need that. So it's a company called Missing Link Audio.
Oh, okay.
And so as I dove
Their logo
in,
like Evolution, and then there's just like a little.
you would
missing-
think so, but it's not. It's
Oh
like
no.
MLA, and I'm like, I think there's a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
here.
because you
But-
could have totally had like the Evolution thing,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
just one little drop it. Yeah.
So I think it was they had like a ZZ Top Eliminator pedal,
Oh, okay.
which is really, I mean, it just
Super saturated.
It
over,
sounds like just a cranked Marshall with all the squealies
All the
and
squonk.
all the holy shit, it's cranked. But some of their other pedals are, what I noticed is their whole shtick is kind of based around a lot of the Allman Brothers.
Oh, like that's
So I
the
think
market there.
so. Jake Goots,
Yeah.
check out Missing Link Audio. I think there's some stuff in there for you. They have
that'd
a
be
couple
episode.
pedals. One's called the Statesboro Blues Man, and then there's another one
yeah.
called Hotlanta.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of based on the Allman Brothers-y,
The tones,
cranked with
Super bass
JBLs,
and-
you know, like. So it's kind of cool, and I bought it, and I'll let you guys know once I get it, and we take it through its paces.
Yeah,
I was just
that
like,
sounds interesting,
I think
yeah.
it would be paired up really cool with my blacktop telly.
Oh yeah, the P90.
No, with the humbuckers in it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
PAFs with this, I was like, oh, there could be some really cool, fun,
Oh yeah, for
classic rock, Dickie
yeah.
Betsy, slidey bit stuff. So I'm checking that out.
Yeah.
I don't know how you brought that up, but
Well, no, I mean it was just
But
out
here
of the
we
pedal
are.
stuff. Yeah, no, I think it'll be cool. So yeah, we'll let you guys know how that one goes.
yeah. And who knows? We like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say one last thing. We are doing the Space Echo giveaway. So if you guys watched like the last couple weeks, we've mentioned it. That video's coming out tomorrow,
Tomorrow,
which is Tuesday.
which will be yesterday when this one comes out.
Right? Is today the 2nd
Yeah.
of May? No,
I don't know.
is this the dose of May? Dos de Mayo? Dos de Mayo?
Dos de Mayo.
It is May 2nd, so it'll be coming out May 3rd, and then this video that you're watching now should have technically come out May 4th, Star Wars Day.
Yeah. May the 4th be with you.
yes.
And then we're going to be picking the winner on Friday.
Yes.
Because it's Friday. You might as well get something for your
Yeah.
money.
So yeah, if you guys are watching it, be sure to go and watch the Instagram video. Like if you guys are watching this and you're not watching us on Instagram or anything, make sure you go and look
Yeah.
at that before Friday.
Yeah, that's where we're doing the contest.
Yes.
Instagram. So it's flipside_music_Denver. Go there, check it out. Basically, what you're gonna have to do is like the video, include 2 of your friends. You know what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just
So
kind of reminding
tag in
you.
2
Yeah.
friends, and then do like a hashtag Flipside Music. Tag in 2 guitar players, because probably what we're gonna do is whoever wins this, we're gonna send something to the 2 friends that you tagged in. So it's worth it.
Yes. Yeah. So
Or-
yeah, that was just a
Tag in like your sister and your mom and be like, hey, if you win some shit,
yeah, especially
just
if
give
you
it to me
have
'cause
like
you don't need it.
yeah, or if you want to send us like some cannolis or something as a bribe, or
Yeah.
you know, we might consider it a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll tweak for cannolis.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, check out the Instagram video. Check that out. Win a Space Echo, and I think that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Win yourself a Space Echo.
Get yourself something, get yourself something nice.
Yeah. How else are you gonna oscillate?
What the hell?
The play. What is going on around here? I guess because it's quiet, we're just hearing like every little thing on
every
the outside
noise
of the
in the
building.
area, yeah.
Well, and this morning started weird, so we're on like hyper alert.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
certainly did.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll catch you guys
On the flip
on
side.
the flip side.
Tumbling flip side.
Yeah. Tumbling down.